Hey y'all, Bearder Bros Golf Show, back at it again. I am Rod.
And I'm Marcus.
Apologies for the late start. Had to cuss Marcus out for his down mood today. Hopefully he cheers up. Everybody send Marcus a virtual hug. Anyway, all right, y'all. Um, Asian swing golf this week. But let's talk about something that keeps coming up, unfortunately. Tiger Woods reported that last Friday, this man had another surgery on his back to fix a compressed disc and collapsing spinal canal, which sounds incredibly serious. I mean, it was just a couple weeks ago we saw a video of Tiger on the range, warming up, not warming up, but getting some, practice in. His event in the Bahamas is coming up in December. Last year he missed it and wasn't able to play. I'm assuming that will be the case again. And again, the fact that he keeps having to have these surgeries. I mean, I know we keep talking about him getting to the Champions Tour, but I mean, to what end? I mean, his body is thoroughly breaking down at this stage. What do you think about the latest development with Tiger after rupturing his Achilles earlier in the year? Setback after setback.
I feel like the Achilles was more serious than this back surgery. I mean, this is like his third or fourth back surgery now. So honestly, I feel like it's one of those sounds worse than it really is type deal. Like I feel like this is just another corrective surgery, just so he is without pain. And hopefully can swing the golf club next year sometime. I mean, it'd just be crazy to see him swinging, within a month, trying to get ready to play in the Hero World Tour, his event in the Bahamas. Who knows? Like I said, it might be a unserious. It might be technically sounding more important than it really is. Hopefully, it is not that invasive of a surgery, but when you're taking out a disc, it definitely seems pretty
Yeah,
serious. So,
yeah.
um,
Anytime you get sliced open, it's pretty serious and have to get put under anesthesia to me. I mean, that it's always serious and there's always complications that can arise as a result of it. I mean, the end of the year is kind of when we see Tiger getting busy a little bit, trying to, it kind of sets the tone coming into the following year. We see him either participating in his own event or the PNC Championship with Charlie. So I mean, we'll know. I mean, pretty quickly, we'll know in the next couple months where things land for sure.
yeah, I mean, like I said, hopefully it's not as serious as it sounds, and that we'll be able to see him somewhere on a range, chipping and putting or something like that. In those beginning part of the years, and maybe try to push for some of these majors and see if he can get into some of those Champions Tour events because he turns 50 at the end of the year.
That's true. He's a December birthday, right?
Yeah, same birthday as LeBron. They're like December 29th or something like that.
Tiger. It's hard. It doesn't even make really much sense to even ask. Like, I mean, we've talked about it in the last couple of years, what the rest of his life in golf looks like. I don't know. We've talked about the more administrative side of things coming into play. Just kind of messing around on the Champions Tour. But I think we've talked about just Tommy Two Gloves Gainey last week being somebody that goes over there, gets kind of a renewed motivation. So we'll see once Tiger does start playing in those events, if we see a return to the winner's circle from Tiger. It's felt like a lot. The last few years have been very cloudy. I mean, it all kind of started after the Masters win in 2019, the accident, and then it's just been really up and down since that point. But yeah, just strange times in the life of Tiger. It just kind of caught me off guard with the back surgery, especially after seeing the video surface. All right. Anything else on Tiger before we keep it moving?
No.
Okay. All right. Xander Schauffele over in Japan. Roots there with his mother, Japanese American, came over and looked good. I think there was questions about Xander's health all year. We really saw him perform pretty well in the Ryder Cup and show some flashes of what we saw last year that took him to two majors. He got his first victory at the Baycurrent, first victory in 17 months. So it's been a bit of a dry spell since 2024. Really a spectacular season that year, but it's what have you done for me lately? And he was able to pull off the win with a pretty full complement of players making it over to Japan. Had pretty decent participation, and he was able to pull it off. How much of that did you get to watch? I know you were up late. I saw the communication and just kind of thinking about when you were up. So what did you think of the tournament, Xander's performance? And we'll talk about Max Greyserman here in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he looked good all the way through. Um, I mean, they were really going low because the conditions were good after that typhoon deal passed through on Thursday or whatnot, or maybe that was Friday, whatever day they moved up tee times. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I mean, off the tee, he was looking good. Didn't really miss a shot. I mean, he didn't really miss a shot all of Sunday, to be honest. Made a few long
Right.
putts, hit the ball close. I mean, looked like the full repertoire was on display. Um, he had some really talented chasers. A lot of guys trying to get some good status for next year, and really just don't have a life, so they were out here playing as well. Just trying to travel the world. So yeah, it was overall a good product. The course looked great, and
Yes.
I mean the leaderboard was pretty competitive. So I mean it's pretty much everything you want to see out of a fall series event for the most part. You want to see
Yeah,
the
I think go ahead, sorry.
you want to see your higher seeded players, rising to the top, but you also want to see, some up and comers showing out. So we got that with Xander winning, the highest ranked player in the field, and then you got players like Michael Torbjornsen that were out there in the last threesome, and he was competing as well. So I felt like it was a really
Yeah.
good show.
I knew he was Thorbjornsen was long, but seeing him up against other players who are also long off the tee, maybe not Max Greyserman is not the longest, but Xander's got some distance in him, and Thorbjornsen has a whole nother gear. So if that kid puts it all together, he could go on a pretty significant streak if he puts all the pieces together. But definitely long off the tee. Um, yeah, I mean, it goes without saying with Xander, congratulations to him. Glad he's been able to get off the snide, get his first win since having a kid. That always is a bit of a weight off your shoulders. I just thought it was. I mean, I think it's interesting seeing how many guys are willing to compete, especially again, like you said, traveling cross halfway across the world to go to Japan and getting reps in. That I feel like a few years ago when there were a lot of complaints about the schedule and the wraparound season and people losing ground. I think this is where the PGA may have made a kind of a premature mistake in not having the full wraparound season like we used to. I think one, it's rough for the product that we're kind of inconsistent and not getting golf continuously essentially like the DP World Tour provides. But I mean the complaints were just for a few people, and the guys who are successful always ended up making the points up. When the full season started, I mean it's only a couple of months where some of these younger guys get the reps in, get a chance to get some status. What do you think about them not having the full wraparound season and how it kind of impacts the flow of the season or just the product overall?
I mean, to be honest with you, I, I don't really understand the wraparound season or this season fall series shit. It's the same to me. It's there's the FedEx Cup final, and then there's tournaments afterwards where people can get status for next season, and then some of the points carry over. I mean, you win, you're going to be exempt until 2027 anyway. So I don't get what the big deal is, anyways. I don't have a complaint. The golf is going to be golfed. And then once it's December, then there's not going to be any golf. I mean, it's okay. We can go without for a month. Fucking the century is the beginning of January. And then we have golf pretty much year round until September. So, I mean, I think it's stupid. I mean, you're playing a professional tour. I mean, you're playing a professional sport. Every professional sport has some type of all season. There's nothing wrong with
Right.
having an off season. If this is a actual sport, which it is, and it's an athletic one, then yeah, they deserve a break the same as everybody else. I mean, the basketball gets 3 months, football gets
Yeah.
4 months. I mean, what are we trying to do? We trying to beat the shit out these people? They already beat balls enough. It's fine.
No, I get it. I
I
don't
just
know.
don't understand why people like Lucas Glover are complaining. You're either gonna play in the events or you're not. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, okay. So good dang, Marcus. like I said at the
He
like I
pisses
said
me
at the
off.
beginning, everybody give Marcus a virtual hug. He's salty. Okay, so maybe I missed. He's always coming out with the hot sound bites. You give me a little bit. I missed that one. What did Lucas Glover have to say this about this subject?
Well, I mean, it, he took complains about everything that the tour does that they try to change up. So I'm just assuming that he was one that complained about it as well. I mean, are you going to be a family man and go home to your family, or are you going to play in the tour? If you're going to play on the tour, then you go where the tour plays. So you're either going to play in the fall series and keep your game warm, or you're going to wait till January and play in the Sony Open. You, what are we talking about? You won your U.S. Open in '09. Come back and win again. Do something else. Like I just don't
Yeah,
understand why he always has the hottest hot bite, the hottest sound bites, and he's not producing anything. He had that decent playoff series like 2 years ago, and now he's right
right.
back into the shadows. He you do it when it matters most, so that we can see you on one of these team events. And then like, oh my good,
Right.
Lucas Glover, he's a player. Oh, I definitely enjoy him again. Whatever,
Yeah,
man.
and I think since he's not, like you said, he caught fire a couple of years ago, going into the FedEx Cup playoffs, and wasn't able to really kind of take advantage of that. But we saw him win, play pretty well after that, but fell off. And I think some of his outward comments do prevent him from being someone that is considered as a captain's pick for the Ryder Cup, right? So he barely missed out a couple of years ago. And you can probably point to just him being a little bit divisive. I mean, sometimes it's like you like it to a certain degree, but then it's like, okay, man, you're probably costing yourself some opportunities being so vocal about everything, because he's very quick to pop off and get
I mean,
featured
not
kind of
only
these.
vocal, but a contrarian at that. Like, at least
True.
be vocal. Like, nobody's asking you to grovel at the PGA Tour's feet. Man, that was a great
Right.
move. A hundred player field is amazing. All these elevated events, great. Nobody's asking you to commend every decision that they make, because we all know that the PGA Tour has definitely slid and not made good decisions from time to time. Hence why Jay Monahan is on his way out and we got a new guy in. But at the same accord, you're messing with the higher ups by not at least just hushing up and whispering behind their back like everybody else on tour does. Like, be for
Yeah.
real, bro. You've made your
Well,
money and you've continued to make your money on the course and through your sponsors. Like, continue to make your money. Don't get in somebody's bad favor and run out
yeah.
of,
Or have some balance. Have some balance to it. Like every once in a while, it's okay to say, okay, I agree with what the tour did here. I've been very critical, but play the game a little bit, just a little
right.
bit, bro. So anyway, one thing I did want to talk about one individual I want to talk about coming out of the PGA Tour event was Max Greyserman. Just watching his post round interview, and I know it's very fresh, but it seemed to me, just kind of reading the body language. He's had some really close calls over the last couple of years, and I'll go through his record and but still seeking out his first PGA Tour win has been really close a couple of times, but it's like that fire is. He looked really defeated by this particular loss. Again, he's been in position quite a bit over the last couple of years where we've seen him give it a run. I'm going to go through kind of his results here. And again, just I'm a little bit concerned. Like a lot of people come back when we saw Tommy talking about his close calls, the confidence was still there, right? And there was seemed like there was a determination in his voice, and then he got it done. Max Greyserman, I, I'm a little bit concerned. So, um, best results this year, a little bit rough compared to last year. He had a T7 at the American Express, 11 at the Cognizant, and then earlier this year we saw him come in second in a playoff at the Rocket Mortgage Classic, and then he went on to miss like four straight cuts in a row, which I was like, yeah, that's. I mean, he it just seems like he was struggling after playing well, in
Mhm.
that Rocket Mortgage. So last year we saw him with several T2s. The Wyndham Championship, he had a chance to win as well, but wasn't able to secure it. But I don't know, man. Highly talented guy. I mean, it's not even a question of the talent level, but we've talked about people having those mental blocks, putting themselves under pressure, and not able to get the job done. Does he move? Does he lose to a formidable opponent in Xander Schauffele? Absolutely, 100%. There's no shame in that. But when you put yourself in position and you keep coming up short, either going into the final, round in the lead or having a chance to secure the lead, what do you think about that? Like I said, I just caught his post round interview and he looked a little bit shook, more than just the normal. It sucks to lose, but after that many T2s, um, sad. I don't know. Tell me what you think.
He'll be fine. I'm looking up how old he is now. He's 30, bro.
But well,
He's 30,
you
bro.
say that he's just 30, but I think this is like his second stint on the PGA Tour. Like last couple, I think he had some starts back in like 16, 17 when I was looking up his history, and then he's made it back in the last couple of years. I don't know, man. I just again the light in his eyes seemed really dim at post around, and it was just beyond the normal to me. I could be reaching, but I trust my reading of people's body language. I hope he's able to cross the finish line because I like his game. It's very serviceable. Does a lot of things well, but I don't know. Like I said, I could be reaching.
I think he's fine, bro. I mean, the dude, you lose to a guy that shot 7 under. What are you mad about? You shot 60, you shot 65, he shot 64. You were in the last group. I mean, you had a chance going down the stretch. You fumbled a little bit. Get your mental tougher and go out there and fight with the best of them. I mean, it's not like he lost to a bum. It's not like he lost to somebody that like was out here, and hasn't won ever, missed a couple of tour stops, and all of a sudden came out and won. You lost to a two-time major champion who was just on the Ryder
That's
Cup.
true.
Like, I mean, and then you look at his scorecard on the final day, and he went out hot. He had a bogey. You take away the bogey, he shoots 64. He ties them up. They go to a playoff. What happens? Does he choke in the playoff? Who knows? But when you
Yeah.
only have two birdies on the backside to a guy that's surging, I think you need to be looking within. I mean, the dude, I
Well,
mean,
yeah. That's the question though, right? When you that's where I think the questions come in is like, does he have what it takes to when you need to make a birdie? Like we saw Xander birdie number 17. And like you said, he had 4 birdies on the backside to Max's two. Um, he also had a bogey on the front nine as well. So I don't know, bro. Like I said, I root for certain people just because I'm like, you're getting close. You're getting close. I want you to cross that finish line. We're always rooting for these guys to, secure their future. We see how much it means to them. We talked about it last week with the Sanderson Farms, that it means a lot to cross that finish line after all the work that these folks put in. Like I said, I'm rooting for him. I don't want that to be the case where he's doesn't have what it takes, but we've seen him in this position multiple times and unable to close the deal. So we'll see. We'll see. What's the rest of the schedule looking like for these guys here?
They
Oh,
have a
Black
week
Desert
off. They have a week
coming up.
off this week, and then I mean, just like what happened before. I mean, they have a week to travel, and then they'll be right back to it. And then Worldwide
Another
Technologies, another week
another
off.
break. Right. Well,
Yeah,
they're
they'll
gonna
be
do
on
a
the
break in between the Bank of Utah because that's the week of the 23rd, 26th. Then they don't go back until November the 6th with the worldwide
yeah. I said
technology.
another break. Hmm.
Okay, yeah. Um, then they're
Then
down
they'll
in
go a couple of weeks in a row.
Bermuda. Yeah, for Bermuda, 3 weeks, and then RSM. So okay, I mean we're picking up, and then they're officially kind of done. I mean, a lot of people don't consider the Hero World Challenge really part of the schedule. A lot of back and forth about that particular event, but we'll see. Early December for the Hero World Challenge. So, anyway, keep it moving. Jeeno, and on the LPGA, we were just talking about her a couple weeks ago, and the LPGA needing their stars to be stars. And when the chips were down, Jeeno stepped up. Didn't wasn't in a really a position to win. She was down 4 strokes with 5 holes to play. Able to make the comeback, get it into a playoff, and win in a 5 hole playoff. So congrats to her. Clearly the message loud and clear that hey, we need stars to star out here, and she was able to kind of answer that call on some really rough greens at the Buick LPGA Shanghai. This was an event that started in the 2018, 2019, Danielle Kang won it twice in a row. It went away as a result of like COVID and all the stuff that was going on at that time. Came back in 2023, Angel Yin winning it last year. Ryan won it, and then Jeeno this year. So, uh, kind of a mixed bag there. They were attributing the rough greens to excessive heat in China around this site, which I can say this has been spending the last couple of weeks in, or excuse me, last couple of months in Asia. It has been unusually hot. When we were in Japan, it was like the worst summer they said they'd experienced in history, and I feel that. So I'm not surprised that that is the case. And they were kind of questioning whether this event would continue. So what did you think about Jeeno getting the win? Kind of pulling out the guts.
Oh yeah, I mean, they were going to be fine regardless. But I know you're happy that somebody that's a star finally won again on their tour. So congrats to you. Um, yeah, I
Whatever.
mean it was good. It was a nice come from behind win, and it looked really good on TV. The greens rolled better than they looked. I mean, they did
Yeah.
these zoom in shots, and I mean, they looked scruffy. But yeah, I mean, they rolled true. I mean, there wasn't a lot of hopping and bumping, and the holes that I saw on the last day were perfectly fine. So it ended up being okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like the course was. I mean, everywhere but America, uses pretty much some type of ingenuity and creativity when it comes to course setup nowadays. Feel like they're not just using the same plot. Boom, put this hole here, put some trees here, have a crazy dog leg here. Like, there's a lot more water involved. The bunkering makes you
Yeah.
think and stuff like that. So, different types of force carries and different, they're not, like we said, there's more than one way to make a course difficult or exciting, and you don't always just have to lengthen it out and put trees on it to make it either exciting or creative or fun. You can have a lot of these short force layups. If you hit it too long, you're in the rough. If you hit it too short, or hit it too left or too right, sometimes you're in the crap. So yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
the course was a really good one for them to pick, as I always do with the LPGA. They're definitely way more on the creative side with the courses that they pick than the PGA, and I've said that multiple times. So
No, it's true. It's so true.
yeah, I'm excited, and then they're right back at it next week. I'm sorry, this week. They have Korea. Hannah Green is going to
Yeah.
be the returning champ. We'll see if she shows up. But yeah,
Yeah, she's
I
had a
mean,
very quiet year this year.
yeah,
Hannah
very
Green
very
has not been.
lackluster.
Yeah.
I think she got married
Yeah,
though,
they're
or something like that, or she's like in love. I don't
I thought
know.
she had
I think
I thought she had been married. I don't think it was fresh,
possibly.
but
Um, but yeah, I think yeah, maybe with Gino winning this one, maybe she'll return to greatness again and just wrap it on around. So who knows?
yeah.
But that's for us to see.
Yeah, this is I think we've seen her get hot in their wraparound type of season, or they're not even really done. Sorry, I can't even call it a wraparound. They're still going towards the CME Globe. So we've seen her get hot at the end of the year. Let's pull up the actual standings for the CME Globe. Come on now. Okay, so like right now, she is leading, and it's hard to determine on the points. I mean, she's had a lot of T2s this year, or solo seconds, or she's currently at the top. She's ahead of Minji Lee by 869 points. Minji Lee has a lead on Miyu Yamashita by another 600 points or so. And then it starts getting a little bit tighter as you get further down. So Rio Takeda is separated by like 200 points or less than two, just under 200 points. Hugh Ju Kim, like 30 something points. So Nelly, six. I mean, I don't know if Nelly's going to make any of these starts over on the Asian tour or Asian side of things these next 4 weeks, but I mean, she actually has a chance. I mean, I think with the win, she might be any of these players can close the gap on Gino, um, but I don't know if she'll be teeing it up in Asia at all over the next month. But still a chance,
I
still
don't
wide
think
open on the
so.
CME. You don't, none of them.
I don't think so. She pulled out of the international crown, which is right in the middle of it. So
That's true.
I don't see why she would need to show up before or after. I don't feel like she would want to. Yeah. So BMW ladies is this week. Very next week
Yeah.
is the Hanwha Life Plus International Crown, and then they got Maybank, and then they got the Toto Japan Classic. So that would have been a nice little 5 week stretch. She's gonna take that off and then just be ready for November 13th for the Annika, which is at her home golf course, which she won last year. And
Is
then
that
that'll
what
be right.
Tiburon?
That's Pelican Golf Club in Bel Air.
Okay.
So yeah, she'll be playing that, and then the tour championship is right after it. So that'll be the 13th is the beginning of the Annika, and then the 20th is the group tour championship. So now that she pulled out of the international crown, I don't think she makes that trip over there for 1, 2, 3 events out of 4 weeks when she can just be resting, and we're gonna see on her story her quote unquote grinding, but who knows.
I don't think we were able to identify what the injury or what she's resting from. I know she had some injury issues late last year. I don't think when she pulled out, she named what the issue was.
I think
Last
they
time I
talked
checked.
about it. It could be her neck again or something like that. I think. I don't
Yeah,
know,
you're right.
bro.
It says migraines and neck spasms. Interesting
What?
injury there. So yeah,
Migraines and neck spasms. Okay. I mean, I don't know what that means.
right.
Like, is
It's
you
interesting.
know,
I don't know.
right? Women be women, and so I can't say like it's something or another. I know if it was a dude, we're a little bit more straightforward autonomy wise. So it's kind of like neck spasms, you out of shape, migraines, you need to be drinking more water and sleeping better. I
Right.
mean,
Look,
it's
cut
you know what I'm
cut cut
saying?
the chocolate, cut the chocolate out of your diet, stuff like that. I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that they would cite that. I think I could have rolled with just straight neck spasms and leave it as that.
I would have been
Because
fine
that's
with that.
been
Yeah.
right. Don't even why even introduce the migraines as part of the injury.
Yeah.
Okay, let's slide on over DP World Tour at the Open de España. Always an exciting tournament, at least the last couple of years. It's one that I actually enjoy watching. It's always seems to come down to the 18th hole, and then they replay that damn thing over and over for the playoff. A little bit of drama going down the stretch with Danny Brown, the Englishman, sustaining some
Yeah.
type of injury, having to get medical care. It was one point we thought they were going to, pull him off the course, or he was going to have to forfeit. It's interesting. He kept getting rub downs and treatment from the trainer on site, but ends up getting into a playoff with Marco Penge, and I, maybe this is just me because they wear the same shoes and have a similar build, but I always like if I'm looking at him like from the posterior view, Marco looks very much like our guy from Live, who I'm blanking on right now. From
Yeah. Neiman, Joaquin Neiman.
Joaquin Neiman. They look exactly the same, but
Similar hairstyle too.
very yeah. Slight builds, but able to generate a lot of speed. And I was watching some little blurb a couple weeks ago about his workout. The quads are quadding for a small man.
Yeah.
Probably like a featherweight if he was a boxer, but generates a lot of just natural power. Gets in all the right positions. But either way, comes down to a one hole playoff. Penge is able to secure it with the birdie putt. At 18 is an interesting hole at that course just because it's hard to hit the green. Usually the guys end up in the front or high left on that bank, which creates like a really difficult chip. Penge was able to, not put it in a prime position, but made a lengthy putt after trying to bank it off of the slope there and the fringe. But interesting tournament, exciting always. And what'd you think?
Yeah. I mean, dude shot 72 on the final day. I really thought he was just gonna run away with it because he was, I mean, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much shooting the whole, I mean, the first 3 days. And then Danny Brown comes out and shoots well, I mean Marco Payne went one over, two over on the final day. I think it's par 70.
Yeah,
Let's see. Um or 71, I think. So maybe one over. He went 7, 11, and 5, 16. Yeah, it's a par 71. So he went one over on his final day, not even par. So he kind of
right,
leaked oil coming in, which is strange
right.
because I felt like it's really, I'm not saying it's a bomber's paradise, but if you're driving the ball well at that course that they play at every year, you're going to be in a good position. And we clearly know he's a prodigious driver of the golf ball right now with a
Yeah,
entirely, with an entire Mizuno bag besides his putter.
yeah. He wasn't able to control the driver, so I got to catch most of the final round. I think I picked it up
Yeah.
on like hole number 5. Yeah, he was spraying the driver, not able to draw it. Yeah, just playing out of some rough positions. So I wasn't surprised by the final score, but I think at one point he had a 6 shot lead, and so for him to end up in the playoff, I mean that can kind of rattle you. But I mean he came up clutch with that putt. But yeah, like you said,
Yeah,
it's usually pretty wide open if you can just keep the driver straight.
yeah. That is, yeah. Because Friday I woke up, coverage started at 5:30 my time, so I woke up and I was watching it as I was getting ready to go play golf early morning because I was off on Sunday. Um, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't need to watch this. I don't even need to watch the replay because he was up like 4 or 5 at the time when it first came on TV. So I'm like, all
Right.
right, cool. And then like I think like we finished and it was probably 10:15 or so. I walk into the clubhouse, drop my bag off, and like, you see him, he's kind of like his shoulders are like finally relieved, and they interviewing him finally after he won it. Then I look at the scores and I'm like, 15 and
How?
15. What? Right.
Right.
So yeah. Yeah, I was a little bit confused when I came back in, but I mean, I'm glad he ended up winning though. I mean, Danny Brown is the guy. Remember Danny Brown? It was last year he was a part of that controversy because he was using that anchored. He was using the broomstick, and we couldn't tell if he was anchoring or not. Remember?
I
He was
don't
one of
remember that
them.
one.
Yeah, that was him. And I think it was at the Open de French last year because it was on that same course where America got their ass drugged in the Ryder Cup in 2018. It was at that same course. Yeah,
I'm pulling it up here.
which is crazy because he's back to a conventional putter and a conventional grip. While we're talking about putters, Marco Peng had a like not a one of one, but he had the Scotty 5.2, which is my Phantom, but with a
Very rare.
plumber's neck. And it was a special edition. And I don't know why it's out of the bag. Now he's got this like probably a Circle T Golo 6 in the bag right now, which is cool too. It's got a nice little look, but I thought, I mean, he won that event. He won the event over the summer with the Phantom 5. That was the one where Rasmus Højgaard had to make an eagle. It was the Denmark Open. It was made in Denmark. It was that event. He
Yeah.
won that event because he birdied the last on that par five. Rasmus Højgaard eagled the last hole after kind of squandering the lead and really honestly should have won it outright, but came back, made an eagle to tie Marco Pang, and Pang and the group right behind him ended up birdieing the same hole because that's all he needed. He had like a knee knocker, a little 5 to 7 foot putt, but when you a
Just to
pro, you
worry you
really should
enough.
have. Yeah, you supposed to make that play, and he went ahead and drained it.
No doubt. So this was his third victory of the year on the DP World Tour. Also,
Yeah,
secured himself a spot in the Masters. Um, Again, I'm always a fan of these post round interviews. It kind of speaks to some of their mindset. I like when they're transparent. And he said, "I've always wanted to play Augusta National." He's like, "It's one that I feel sets up well for my game, and so I'm excited to be able to go play in the next year." I was like, I like that confidence. I think that there is power in words and speaking to something that you are very excited about. And so I was like,
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what his results are next year. And it's a long way away. I mean, we're talking 7 months, and a lot of stuff can happen in between there. But he's one that mental note. We'll see how he fares next year and is able to perform. And there's still, again, a lot of golf left for him on the DP World Tour this year. We'll see in the next couple of weeks who decides to migrate over to the PGA Tour, since that's now a pathway for the DP World Tour guys that are top 10 to be able to come over and play on the PGA Tour. We'll see if he's one of those guys that makes the leap overseas. But yeah, I hadn't looked at that list in a while. They have so much season left that a lot can still happen. So it's not really
Right.
a huge deal. We'll start looking at that a little bit more as we get into November and as they close their season out in December. But yeah, a lot of guys, pretty much like it's like the Corn Ferry extension at this point. A lot of feeder players coming over from the DP World Tour, and I think it's a good thing. I mean, it sucks to me for the DP World Tour, but it also shows that there's a lot of talent coming up out of Europe and some of these other countries as well.
Yeah. There's still a lot of game over there. It's just not as televised or as, widely, produced. But yeah, the guys are still golfing over there, and they're still, top 5% of the golfers that we have out in the world professionally. You kind of
No
got to
doubt.
look at it as, with the amount of age that's on the DP World Tour, you kind of got to call the Corn Ferry Tour like the college tour, and then really like the DP World Tour is really the G League now, just because they're a little bit older, they've been through a
Yeah.
lot more and stuff like that. Prime example, Brooks Koepka definitely came from the G League because bro was out here grinding on the DP World Tour for so long. I wouldn't say so long, but it was a good 2 or 3 years that he was over there before he
Well,
did
yeah,
enough
because
to
he
come over
he
here and play for the PGA
yeah, because he had to go challenge tour first
Challenge
to
Tour.
even
Yeah,
make it onto the DP, and then did a couple years on the DP World Tour. So that yeah, that to me, I want to say him and Peter Uline were peak DP World Tour. I mean, it was always
yeah,
good, right? It was always
I
good,
agree.
and then they kind of peaked.
Ross Fisher and the guys.
I was about to say Ross Fish, Joe
Uh,
Slouby,
Mark,
um,
Mark, Mark, Marco Seam or
Marcel.
Marcel Seam. Who's another
Can't
one?
forget the ponytail.
No, never
Um,
that.
who's another classic? I mean,
Chris
even it's funny
Wood.
that oh yeah, tall Chris Wood, 6'8" Chris Wood, who's
Yeah,
disappeared, and he's now struggling with his game. But
yeah.
shout out to early, our 2015 beyond DP World Tour. It was the time, especially for us as we were learning the game and getting into watching professional golf. But days gone by. I hadn't heard much from what's our guy who was hot, came over from Live last year, Eugenio Chikara. Hadn't heard much of him this week or this year. They're going over to India this week, which is I think one of the tournaments that he performed decently in, or countries that he performed in earlier in the year. But he's kind of to that top 10 on the world tour and come on over to and to be all this time. So hopefully that he's able to get his stuff together in these last few weeks and secure that top 10. Golf wise, that's really it. What else you got? Randomness. You've been watching
Uh,
preseason?
I've been watching preseason, but I mean, also on the Spanish Open and DP World Tour. I mean, let's talk about it. We talked about it in the DMs and then in the text. I mean, you have so much opportunity to make money, make free money, and you
That's
got
true.
guys that are Masters champions, former number one, and now dipped off to the Live Tour, and they refuse to play free golf. I am so confused at what John Rahm's ideology is right now. I mean, like, I'm not like I get it. You just made 300 mil. You don't really need to play. But if you are as hungry as you say you are to win again and win on the biggest stages and stuff like that, this whole hangover from the live got to go. You need to get the reps up.
Yeah.
And like we said, if Flushing in golf is being honest, and this is the report, you're not going to play professional, real pressure golf again until February in Riyadh or wherever, or Saudi Arabia for the Liv's first event. Make it make sense. You're not going
Yeah.
to play. Let's just go down the let's go down the schedule. Let's go to the schedule because they got hella weeks left for the DP World Tour, as we always discuss. They play
Yep.
just as late as the ladies. So we just did the Open d'Espagne, and they play every week. It's not like they take weeks off. The only week they took off was for the Ryder Cup. And literally, they played the week before the French Open, then Ryder Cup, then came right back, and some of the Ryder Cuppers played in the Alfred Dunhill Links. Like,
Yep.
Bob McIntyre won the event. What, like, so
Right. It
he hungry.
still had Stella Artois on his breath and went out and won the Alfred Dunhill.
Literally. So they go DP World India Championship, a little bit of extra bread on the line. Then they go Genesis Championship in Korea. Okay, you skip that, but then you got November the next week, or in 2 weeks. My apologies. In 2 weeks, you get that first week off, that end of October, first week of November off. You got the HSBC. That's a $9 million purse. You skipping that. And you got the DP World Tour Championship. You skipping that? What? What? What?
I know.
I'm
But I don't
confused.
know. And I don't want to assign this to their entire nationality and being dramatic, but I woke up to another story that I just didn't get to add. It was like the first thing blurry eyed on my phone is that apparently Sergio Garcia is also giving up his DP World Tour membership. I think he's only played like two events in the last year, so he's going to surrender his membership. Like you said, it's free golf that he could play. It's not like that's not where he came up playing. Um, I'm just like I don't get your objectives, man. You're that. He's just Rom and I think Garcia is Rom's like hero, and so they do a lot of the same dramatic kind of silly stuff. And
Yeah.
as much as stock as Sergio Garcia put into playing in this year's Ryder Cup, which he did not fit on that team at all. We know Sergio Garcia is a selfish man, and I think he would have just messed up the vibes in that team room with this year's Ryder Cup.
No way
They've
he
had
was doing
essentially the
enough to
same.
make the team anyways. I mean,
Right.
respectfully, respectfully, he sucks. I mean, he is not good enough to be on the Ryder Cup team in any fashion. Like the most
No.
he could have done is been a vice captain, and even then, they already had those roles filled. Like, bro, you definitely would have been just like. I mean, you can't even say he would have been a girl about it because I feel like girls would have been more mature about it than him. I feel like it's just I don't know, bro. I like especially with something like what he said right now that he's given up his DP World Tour membership. I mean, okay, but like you wasn't gonna pay the fines no way. The PIF was gonna pay the fines for you.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah, they
if that's
figured
out of
out
your
something where they.
yeah, if that's out of your contract, so be it. You still making in the millions out of the contract. So what's the big
Yeah,
deal about you missing out on that money anyways? They're gonna fine you. Okay. So what? You gonna make that back with your little,
easily,
your
and And hope,
your 30th is gonna get you 400, 500K for we live now, ain't it?
yeah, right.
Like, bro,
Um,
like,
but he has. I mean, his level of perspective is just weird to me. So
it's
we
very
know on
skewed.
the Ryder Cup team, the elder statesman for the Euros was Justin Rose. He's 43. Sergio Garcia is 45 years old. And I think it was even, I mean, Justin Rose clearly stepped up. Justin Rose clearly plays quite a bit. I mean, Justin Rose gets the reps in. And so it seemed fitting for him to get a spot. Has been playing serviceable golf for the last 3 years, where he's been in contention in a lot of big tournaments. The Masters this year always pop
Yeah,
has, I think he's like the number one guy, like has a day one lead in the Masters. Has he gone on to win it? No, but it says something about his game. So at
yeah,
43, he was able to compete in the Ryder Cup, and it was deserved. But at no point does it make logical sense that Sergio Garcia should, uh, I guess, expect something just because of his life, his career accomplishments. There are no lifetime achievement awards that get you something based on and without the merit, right? At this point, how have you played lately? If you didn't make it in, I know there was all the live stuff in
yeah,
23. But you didn't make it then. You're probably not going to make it now. It's as little golf as you've been playing, and it's not like he's been winning on the live tour either. So I don't know, man.
right.
It's just he's
I mean,
forever frustrating.
yeah, if we're going off of that type of logic, Tom McKibben had a better, um, had more weight towards the Ryder Cup than you did, Sergio.
Right.
If that's how you want to play it, but even then, I mean, like, who's going to take that serious? That's just again ridiculous. But I also wanted to say,
It's kind of the same way he
um,
left the PGA Tour.
yeah, corny, corny. Anyways, John Rahm is 56 right now. He's in the top 60 to make it to the tour. He probably needs to play like maybe one more event to secure him being top 60 to get to the DP World Tour Championship. But he's done enough. Even in 7 events, he's done enough. So I don't know, bro. Like I said, I don't get why he's doing that, but whatever, bro. I also don't have 300 million in my bank account either. So maybe I'm not the right guy to talk about it.
Yeah, I think that's why the system of all this money being thrown at players, we know that there's no return on investment for these tours. We talked about it last week's headlines, how much money the Live has lost, and they haven't gained any influence, right? So you would expect the much money as they've thrown at these players and kind of trying to compete with the PGA Tour, that they would have been able to get official world golf ranking points, clear entry into the majors. None of
Yeah,
that has happened. I mean, they've got some sideways pathways into the majors, but it's not as direct as DP World Tour. Like, hey, you win this event. They're kind of just granting them essentially sponsors exemptions into majors based on how well they've played, right? Like so. Joaquin Neiman getting into the Masters last year was essentially just like a sponsor's invite.
yeah,
I forget how they called it, but it was like, "Hey, you're doing well. Come on in." So, I mean, they haven't been able to even properly sports wash. So the model of what they've done has been garbage. It has not worked out in the way that they thought they were going to pull off and kind of bully their way into position. And the truth is, I mean, you can see that they're guarding their assets at this point. The PIF is an investment fund, and if they're not getting anything back, eventually you have to roll back your investment and say, "Hey, where can we cut our losses?" People just think that money, I get it. Like the Saudis are unimaginably rich, the oil money and all that. But they're not just going to sign up for lost porn forever. Like there's still a
yeah.
reasonable thought behind behind it, and the fact that they haven't been able to shift the wave in 3 years, I don't think it's going to. I mean, clearly it's not. The momentum is not on their side. We know that they're not going to pay those anybody else. Nobody else is getting that crazy contract. 100 mil, forget about that. You're not going over there for that. So I don't know. I mean, all they can do is hope that some of these young guys actually pan out. The Puigs, the McKibbins, Caleb Surratt clearly is very mid. So I don't know, man. That's all they can hope is that some of these young guys turn into tomorrow's stars, but it's doubtful.
Yeah. End of the season type deal. Same names are popping up again. Ricky Fowler, Tony Finau, a couple
Okay.
of the DP World Tour guys are coming up again. I mean, same names, different year, same story. I don't think they go, but it,
And
things
stock
might
down.
change.
I mean, who gives a shit? I mean, Tony
Playing worse
Finau had one of
golf.
the worst. Yeah, Tony Finau had years of his professional career. Ricky Fowler gives us flashes, but he's clearly no longer the Ricky Fowler of days gone. If John Rahm couldn't move the needle for Live, do you think those two or anybody, you know, in that rank or that, rank and file would make a move, make it the needle move at all? No, it's not
No.
changing anything.
Yeah, I
So,
agree.
what else you got? Any other golf topics I missed? Yeah, I thank
Uh,
you for bringing that up. I totally forgot about Rom.
yeah. Um.
We haven't had
Well,
as many. We haven't had as many extracurricular stories as of.
yeah. No. I mean, I don't know. I mean, guess I don't know if I'm really looking forward to Bank of Utah championship. Maybe I'm looking forward to the course again, but
Yes.
I mean, we thought this week was weak. I don't know if you can even say how weak that field is going to be next week.
It's
And then
it's
they go to
probably gonna be pretty weak.
Mexico. They go to Mexico, and then they go to Bermuda. Isn't that where it's Port Royale? Ain't that where you played or no? You were in the
No, that was
Bahamas. Never
in
mind.
the
You were in
that was the
Bahamas.
Bahamas. They're very close though. The names are close. Um,
Yeah,
let's
because I thought that
see.
was the name of
Let's
the golf
tip.
course
It was like
or one of the
It
golf.
was something Royal Blue. Royal Blue is what I played in the Bermuda
Okay.
or Bahamas. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm trying
and
to
then
see
they
if they
play the
have
RSM.
the commits up for. I don't think they've got an official commitment list for Black Desert, but I remember last year Tony Finau, Utah native, didn't even play in the Black Desert Championship. So I mean, or Bank of Utah Championship, excuse me, at Black
Yeah,
Desert Resort. So if you can't even get your home state guy to play in the event, yeah, that field's going to be pretty weak.
yeah. I mean,
So
I feel like he should play in it because that's at least 30 more people just off his family members alone that pull up to the event.
right. Stay
Um,
on site at the resort. It'll be a fun
right.
weekend for y'all.
Yeah, you know what? I guess I'm looking forward to the RSM Classic, but that's not till the week before Thanksgiving. And I mean, I guess I'm just reliving the glory days where Rory McIlroy came out and played it in like 2022 and just cooked the field by like 8 shots or whatever. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, I don't know,
Well,
bro. Like, I feel like we're really relying on the LPGA Tour this week, not for
yeah.
stories, but like for entertainment purposes and stuff like that. Like, I feel like that's
Right.
really like what we're looking forward to watching. The old men are probably playing, but who cares? I mean,
Right. They played this week, and I want to say that I know day 2 of 3, Alex Checa had the lead. Let me confirm. He ended
he
up
won.
going. He ended up winning it.
Yeah, he won by 3. Ernie Els was second. Steve Alker outright third. Steve Flesh, Tim O'Neill, Robert Carlson are T4. I
Shout out to
mean,
Tim O'Neill.
he still getting it done, man, somehow.
I know he's kind of held on to the momentum after getting his first win last year. So proud of that man.
Yeah,
That
right.
man has grinded out a career without being able to make it to the PGA Tour. Never was able to do it, but cool, good for him.
They
It's
must have some tough
fought for the dream
conditions.
because the scores are pretty kind of
Patrick
sad to honest.
Harrington, yeah, Patrick Harrington went 68, 76, 70. Miguel Angel Jimenez shot 70, 74, 70. I mean, it definitely had to have been windy or cold or something. I don't know. Anyways,
So
yeah, like I said, I mean they gonna be out there playing somewhere, I guess. You know what? Let's see
yeah.
what they next.
I know you're gonna look at the schedule. So let's keep it moving. You want to talk
They're
about something
playing
that's
this
actually
week.
exciting?
They're playing this week in the car.
The Dominion Energy Charity Classic in Virginia.
Oh
That East Coast weather is they pushing it, playing on the East Coast at this time of year.
yeah. Yeah. Anyways, change of events. Both my teams stink. The Ravens lost. The Cowboys lost. Go Mavs! Woohoo! Go Mavs! Go Mavs! Go Mavs! Go
That's
Mavs!
what I was going to talk about. Something more positive. I'm looking at the box score now. Preseason game, they're up 94-84 against the Utah Jazz. The man Anthony Davis, 25 points in 25 minutes. Cooper Flag putting up a well-rounded stat line: 11 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Boy playing some defense.
Yeah,
Um, the I'm excited about this year, and this is all
I
without
am.
Kyrie, man.
Yeah, I am too. I ain't giving that evil light skinned dude no credit because you still don't make that move. But we gonna
No,
be some demons on defense. The length is crazy, pause. But the activity, the rebounding, the communication, we got big guards. Um, and we still brought in a player that we gonna have to hide on defense anyways. In D'Lo, we gonna hide D'Lo just like we hid Luca. I mean, the Charlotte game
yeah,
was a prime example. You guarding a premier point guard in Lonzo Ball, and you are just absolutely in la la land and lose him multiple times on the
right.
highlights for him to be shooting wide open, 1 foot running threes on us from a spot up position. So yeah, we still gonna be hiding people on defense, but I will say that um, we are back to a flow of an offense. The ball will be moving; it's not gonna get stuck. But when Kyrie gets back, we'll have two, if not three, definitive players that can go out and get their own if called upon. But yeah, I think
I
we'll actually
mean,
be running
and there's
sets
still Jalen Hardy still on the roster, bro. I'm
somehow.
so frustrated. You know who else surprised? Dennis Smith Jr. I
He
don't
came
know if
back.
he'll make the
I don't
final
know if
roster.
exactly. I think he's finna get waived because I don't think he's been getting burned in the preseason games at all.
Nah, he
And
just
if you
got three. He's
just
got 3 minutes.
Yeah, if you just got signed back and you're not even getting no preseason burn to like get back into the flow of the offense and like make sure you like acclimated with what the team's trying to do, I don't know, brother. I don't know. They might be trying to go with Brandon Williams, D'Lo, Clay, that type of ball game, and then might go bigger and put Cooper at like a 2 position or something like that. Who knows? I don't know if I don't know if D Smith gonna make the final roster. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, bro. I mean, it's looking promising. The NBA is looking like it's in a good spot again. I don't know
Yeah.
how the NBA on NBC is gonna work. I don't know how these 10 o'clock and 10 p.m. Central Standard Time games is gonna go. because you starting a game at 11:30 East Coast time, finishing up at 2. Who gonna be up? Who
I
gonna
don't
be
know. On the
up?
East Coast, on the East Coast, that makes sense. I mean, it's funny. It's like that's a late. It's New York is literally the city that never sleeps. So it's not crazy to me. Like if you're thinking about like New Yorkish stuff, but I mean outside of the major cities, New York, Boston, I don't know how that plays. I mean they've always had to kind of deal with that late struggle, late starts and whatnot. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I
Yeah,
mean things are honestly just forever like we're in this weird space where things are just changing and chaotic. So who the hell knows how this is gonna come across? It could be everybody's great escape mentally, just to lock in, um, and tune out the shit that's going on. So who knows, man?
yeah, yeah. And we'll have
Um, go ahead.
um. Mike just texted me some stuff that was pretty obvious. I mean, clearly with the conditions and the dispute that's going on at Kapalua, the Century not going down at Kapalua. So they
No,
officially
that's
announced it.
crazy to have to
Yeah,
shift that quickly. Yeah.
right. They officially announced it today that it's not gonna happen and that they're looking at where they're gonna put it. But I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
may
know.
call that one. And they've been struggling with even like past getting people over, right? So like I don't think
No, it's an
I can't
elevated
remember the last
event now.
time.
It's an elevated event. It's gonna go. It will be played.
Yeah, but we had even Rory skipped it last year, elevated event or not, right? He hadn't played in that thing in a while, so we'll see, man. We'll see where they move it. It
He's in
seems
Dubai in the
like you still
beginning
want to
part
keep
of
it
the
in Hawaii.
season.
I know, I know, which says a lot, right? He's willing to, I mean, it is a big paying event, that Dubai event he's been participating in, but
Right.
I hadn't seen that one. Hmm. Thanks,
Yeah,
Mike.
the first 2 weeks in Dubai, he that's a moneymaker and he's historically good at those events too. I wouldn't come over to play in there.
Let's see here.
Probably can see other beaches. She'll be all right. Erica and them gonna be good. Hideki Matsuyama made the trip. He won it going away. Morikawa was out there. They still got big names. I think
True. True.
Scotty makes the trip too if he doesn't do that dumbass ravioli stuff or whatever. They gonna get some names.
Was it
You know
ravioli
what I'm saying?
or
That's what they
uh,
saying. Pasta.
all right? Let's call it, bro. Yeah, I think this is with this week lineup that we have for this coming week. I think I'm gonna definitely buckle down and put together our wild putter series. I think it's that time of the year. We're
Yeah,
getting real slow. We're
we will
gonna
have
start
things
talking
to
about
talk about.
we always. So thank y'all for joining another week, Beater Bros Golf Show. We'll see y'all next week. I'm Rod.
And now, Marcus.
Holler.